Hello, welcome. It's really nice to see you. So thank you once again for tuning in. And if this is your first time, welcome to the program. So what we're going to be doing is having a look. We've got a big full moon happening. We've got Neptune really active in the sky. She's going to be talking to Jupiter, and she's also going to be having a lovely chat to Saturn. Forgive me, I've got my notes down here because there is so much happening. I'm actually going to break this up into two videos because while it might only be a 10-minute recording, it can take me 8 to 10 hours to upload this 10-minute recording onto the video channel. That's all got to do with internet and electricity and third world countries, and we're just going to leave it there. All right, so let's get into the more important things, and let's talk about what's going to be happening. 16th of June, I alluded to this in an earlier video. Jupiter is going to square Neptune. Jupiter is about expansion and risks, and remember Jupiter is currently in retrograde. So while it's still talking about expansion and risks, it's also highlighting for us areas where we're not comfortable with expansion and risks. And it's going to square Neptune. And Neptune is this spiritual expansion, and a lot of creativity is there in Neptune. That's what it stands for. Now remember, a square is kind of, it is compatible, but it also is just a little bit of a spark, a little bit of an opposition. So what's going to happen when these two square off is that Jupiter, it's going to expand and expose areas where we're feeling a little bit uncertain, and particularly where we're feeling a little bit uncertain in relation to both our sense of creativity, our spiritual path, and in many ways trusting in our own instincts about things to go forward. And this is going to be very interesting for us. But it's a major point. It's the second one in a series of 3 that's going to happen this year. And these are real opportunities for cleansing and letting go. In fact, in the next week, starting from the 16th, 17th, and the 18th, moving right into the retrograde of Neptune, it's going to start on the 21st. What we're going to have is this real opportunity to clean out the cupboard. So it's going to get rid of, or it's an opportunity, should we choose. Now, remember, it's choice. This is our life. Nothing is absolutely written in concrete. We always have free will. If we choose to, it's an opportunity for us to really cleanse out some areas where we've perhaps been holding ourselves back, or alternatively, we haven't been holding ourselves back, we've just outgrown it. So that's the opportunity. Sometimes things that in the past really supported us in terms of beliefs and habits, now because things have changed, lots of things have moved on in our life personally, and lots of things have moved on in our life around us. Those things that used to support us can now actually be a blockage for us or a stopping for us. So what's going to be interesting about this is the layers of it, and it's going to be looking at any underlying, there could be, how to say this, there's going to be some chaos in your thinking, is I think the nicest way to think this. You're going to be thrown into some uncertainty perhaps about things that you thought were rock solid. What's important is to have a look at those layers and see what is underlying that surface chaos. Because what might be underlying it is you. Remember, we talked about this with duality. You trying to reconcile two things that are quite disparate together, or you're trying to reconcile something that no longer fits into where the future is going. Now, I did talk about the fact that the previous new moon would be opening us up to being able to reconcile duality. And I don't know if it happened for you, but it certainly happened for me. I found it just took the pressure off me to find the perfect solution. So that was really fabulous. But again, what I'm also going to say to you, carrying that forward, sometimes it did highlight for me areas where really I thought, why am I actually trying to make that fit this? it no longer belongs, it no longer fits. It's time for that to be gone, for me to let that go, and to either redefine that, reshape it, or create something new. And this is what's going to happen with the Jupiter square Neptune. We're going to get this opportunity to have a very great clarity about, okay, enough's enough. That just doesn't work anymore. I need to end that, finish that, move on, leave it behind. If you don't get that clarity, and remember, I'm a great believer in meditation, if you don't get that clarity and you're just seeing the chaos, go and spend a little time and try and see below the chaos, because the chaos in this instance will be happening a little bit on the surface. So what I mean by the surface, it's going to be these swings, the mood swings, emotional responses. That's on the surface. So that's the 16th. After that, right after that, we get the full moon in Sagittarius. Now this is really fabulous because Sagittarius is the explorer, it's the hunter. And again, it's going to want to allow us to explore and open up. And full moons are for closing out. So in this instance, again, it's fabulous because it's going to reinforce what's been happening on the 16th. So remember, when we talk about full moon, we are talking about 2 weeks. So what's going to happen here is we're going to see and get some and really want to move forward and hunt and explore things. And anything that we find is restricting us, that's the stuff that's going to let go. All right? Because we're still in this dynamic, started from the new moon of opening ourselves up to opportunities and options and solutions and a little bit of diversity. And this full moon is actually reinforcing that by saying, okay, I want to explore, I want to have a look at things, and if this is not allowing me to go forward and explore and go after what I want, then I need to have a good look at it and make some decisions, and that needs to be change, divergent, or get rid of it, release it. And that's what, and then following right on the heels of that comes the 18th, when Saturn is going to sextile Neptune. And remember, Saturn's also in retrograde, but she's the planner. And Neptune, remember, is creativity and spirituality. So one of the things that's going to happen is this is going to highlight for us where some of our beliefs, some of our spiritual beliefs, some of our creative beliefs about ourselves are actually blocking our ability to plan and change and move forward. So they're really hindering us. So this is some of the stuff we've got to get under control. And what I mean by under control, I mean understand it. I don't mean bring it all in and make it tight. I mean really understand what's limiting us and what served its purpose, and then just get rid of it. Okay. And how wonderful that we're going to have this highlighting of these areas and these belief systems that are holding us back, and understanding what's underlying emotionally, what's underlying these surface chaoses that's also getting in the way of a clear path and moving forward and understanding what's happening. Then we're going to get the full moon, which is a closeout, and it's a closeout of, it's exploring and hunting. So anything that's stopping us growing big and looking at options and just exploring knowledge for knowledge's sake and understanding for understanding's sake, that also we're being asked to have a good look at and let it go. And then after that, right on that, the 18th, Neptune comes back into play, which is creativity and spirituality, with the planet of Saturn, which is all about planning and understanding and strategy and all those aspects that have got to do with taking us further in a structured way. And so what we're going to have after the 18th, we're going to have a little bit of chaos, we're going to have some realization, and then we're going to have a renewed sense of direction and purpose, and away we go. So you can see we're going to have quite a turbulent time. So what I'm going to say to you is that the way to get through all of this is stay above the water. Don't let yourself start to drown. Anything that starts to be playing around too much in your head and you're finding it's getting too circular, I like to record it, note it down, make a note, then go and have a nice cup of tea or coffee or gin and tonic, whatever it suits, a glass of wine, and have a little think about what is this that is, why am I feeling so churned up about this? What is going on with this? What do I do with this? With some of us, it's actually going to be the straw that broke camel's back, so it'll be a quick snap and out. For some of us, because we, sometimes we don't want to let go of stuff, and we particularly don't want to let go of stuff that's been helping us. So don't drown in any of the chaos. It's only a couple of days where we're going to have this massive churn, and then after that, it'll ease itself into some great clarity. And if something is not helping you, if something is not pushing you forward, you've got to start exploring that and asking some serious questions about it. And maybe it's served its purpose and it's time to let it go. Okay. I'm going to take a break there. I'll do the tarot cards for this because I think they're going to be really fascinating. I'll do that in another video, and then I'll come back a little bit later and I'll talk to you about the 21st, because that's when Neptune turns retrograde. So there's a lot happening. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Stay ready. I'll have the tarot soon. Bye.